Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Draw Straws podcast. My name is Nelson, joined by my wonderful co host Logan. It's been a minute. We're recording on a Saturday this time around. It's currently 7:20 p.m. We're probably going to get done by around, I don't know, 9 maybe. Who knows? We'll see what happens, but we got a little bit of stuff to talk about. Uh, got a bit of news going on, I guess you could say, in regards to what's happened this past week. So, a couple
Oh
of
yeah?
major stuff I would say in for
Fill us in.
well, I mean for what we're going to talk about. There's nothing
Oh,
special
I
in
thought you
regards
meant
to me.
like your work week or something.
No, 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 no. The only
Yeah.
thing special that I got in regards to me at the moment is I did manage to capture a little bit of gameplay this time around. So, hopefully
Yeah, let's switch to that. There
this'll
we go.
this'll help pad out keep it interesting for you folks who actually just like to watch and listen at the same time or whatever it is that you guys like to do. So uh I guess, Logan, how has it been for you this past week?
Pretty solid. I got to like the reason we're recording today, or at least part of the reason on my side is I got to go to pizza last night. At the church, they had an event and it was cool. They had a pizza place from downtown come in and set up a stand on our church campus, and they made the pizzas right there, fresh pizza. So it was pretty good.
Oh, that's
Uh,
nice.
it was really expensive
Well, I bet
because
it
it was
was. Yeah.
it was kind of a fundraiser too. So it was like $57 for two people, which is pretty crazy. Um, but it was really delicious pizza, so that was enjoyable.
Yeah.
And of course, this evening I had a Costco hot dog. That's always a good thing to enjoy.
Yeah,
Kind of
that's nice.
balance out the price of the pizza.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, balanced it out by a whole lot. It's like
yeah, still a
90%.
dollar fifty.
Yeah, I know, since the 80s. You know, they made a whole factory dedicated to that just
Yeah?
to keep the price of the hot dog $1.50. I'm sure you knew that before I did, but I found
No,
that
I
out
didn't know
a
that.
couple of
That's
years back.
amazing.
Yeah, that's the reason why it's still $1.50. They made a whole giant factory just dedicated to manufacturing hot dogs, just so that way they could keep it $1.50. That's the reason why it's been so cheap after all these years. And you get a medium drink with it, I think, if I'm not mistaken. So
Yes, you do.
that
Yeah,
is the
hot dog and a soda for a dollar fifty.
bang for buck. Only if you have a Costco membership, because they
Yep.
changed it. But
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't blame them.
Mm. And then this morning went to work. Uh, Spent basically 3 hours trimming roses, which is always fun.
Yeah.
And what did I even do at school this week? I don't know. I took a quiz on Friday and I finished in 20 minutes. We had 50. So,
Feel pretty
I
confident.
yeah, I think it was pretty easy. I was one of the first people out of the classroom, so that's always kind of
It's always nice that you know the
yeah.
material and you just breeze right through, and it's like, yeah, I got this. I don't. And then you can just leave class early, and then you get to go home, and it's the
Yeah,
nicest
dude.
feeling ever. It's rewarding because you get to
Ooh,
beat traffic, you get to beat everybody that gets out of class at a certain time to go to a different. It's so nice. It's the nicest feeling
yeah.
ever.
I got out so early I was able to get Taco Bell. I went and got Taco Bell on my
What'd you,
way home.
what'd you get?
I got the $7 Lux box.
Oh, those are always good.
It was so
I
much
can never
food.
finish it. I can never finish it.
I know, I should have got the $5 one again. But that's like Taco Bell has the best deal right now, besides of course Costco. It's
Wendy's
$5 for a lot
Wendy's
of
was
food.
decent, but they got too expensive, I would say.
Yeah, they used to have a 4 for 4, and
You
now
could
the
get what was it?
yeah.
You could get a large frosty, and now you can't get those anymore, from what I know.
What?
Yeah, the big 16-ounce
Dude.
frosties, you can't get them anymore, from what I know. I may be wrong, but All they serve is
That's
like a
crazy.
small size. It's so sad. It's like, dude, that's that's why I'm here. I want a giant Frosty.
I know.
It's the whole point.
Frosties are pretty good. I don't know what the heck they're supposed to be. Like, is it ice cream or a milkshake? But they're
for for a
delicious.
company that claims that, oh, we don't like to cut corners, they cut corners in that one area.
Yeah.
It's real scummy. But
Yeah. So now it's my turn. How was your week?
uh, it's been a little hectic, especially for work. I would say there's just too much work, not enough time. It's the same old song and dance where I just get pushed to my limits, and I get so sick of hearing anyone or anything or any tiny little request somebody has for me. And there are moments where I just wish that I could just, how would you say it, just go up into the office and say, "Hey, I really need the day off.
Mm-hmm.
Not today. I just need to rest my mind a little bit and just relax." There are moments where I've had that before, even when I was working part time. But it was just because since we've gone through all the rain and everything now, it's coming back every now and then, I would say, especially here for where we're at. But
Yeah.
a lot of landscapers are coming in, things are starting to pick up, and I mean, it's nice. You get to sell a couple mowers here and there on occasion, but
Yep.
I it gets frustrating to the point where I get basically, well, not necessarily interrogated, but they ask me like, "Well, why isn't this done yet?" Because you guys keep pushing me into other areas, having me do stuff that's nonsense. It's like, I don't have time for this. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't have time to fulfill the core essentials, and you guys are wanting me to do other stuff. But I mean, putting that aside, I would much rather, I guess, just, of course, as you know, be left alone and not bothered at all. And whenever I hear my name on the radio, I'm like, oh gosh, I'm gonna be with a customer for like the next 40 minutes explaining to him like, yes, you can use oil and gas mix in this. It's a two-stroke engine. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know why they're just those types of people that just can't comprehend like the difference between the two. And don't get me wrong, when I was like that, I'm like, oh, what is a two-stroke engine? Oh, what's a four-stroke? I didn't know. But for some reason, you got these out here. I'm gonna say, I'll probably bleep that, but um, you got these small, minuscule, closed-minded people that just can't grasp the concept between the two or anything. But I'm going on a tangent. But other than that, it's been a hectic week, and I did manage, of course, as you can see in the background, I did get a decent chunk of gameplay this time around, which is nice because usually I don't. And you'll see later on in the podcast, I'll make a transition into some Black Ops 6 gameplay. I was struggling, like struggling to
Mm-hmm.
build motivation to play. It was the hardest thing to do to like actually motivate myself to play. When I was playing, I'm like, I hate this crap. I don't want to play it. It's just it was not fun at all. I just hated it. It was just not fun. And there was an event going on, and I was playing on one of their exclusive playlists that they had where the time limit was increased, and there were different game modes, of course, and it felt like there was a little bit less SBMM this time around. So I dropped to, I want to say, about around 100 kills per game, around there, so that's nice.
Wow. That seems impressive.
But I was just thinking to myself, it's awful. I was thinking to myself, I really want to play something else. That's what I was thinking. But I mean, you gotta, make time for some stuff. That way we can do stuff like this, of course, and it makes up for it,
Yeah.
I would say. Doing this type of stuff, especially after a long week, it is enjoyable. I do actually enjoy this type of stuff. And But I mean, other than that, that's been pretty much my week. Nothing major, I would say. I did notice on my pay stub that I got a 25-cent raise, so I'm now making In-N-Out
Ah.
money.
Ooh.
Originally 17 an hour, but now I think
Yeah.
it's like 22 for them, 20 to 22 now for them. But I mean, I'm still. I applaud my boss for this. She didn't have to do it, of course, but she is basically whenever each year goes on, she ensures that my raise at least is 50 cents above the minimum wage. So I worked my
All
duff
right.
off from 15.50 from 2023. That was my starting wage. And I worked all the way up until now essentially. And
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the the paychecks are nice. The taxes are awful. I will say that I hate that.
Yeah.
I hate seeing so much taken out for my taxes, social security, all that stuff. It's crazy. And
Yeah.
but I mean, at the end of the day, I do feel a little rewarded to some extent, and that's nice at least. So, and usually I would think to myself like she would notify me for that kind of stuff, but it hasn't. She hasn't been notifying me about that stuff, so I've had to pay attention a little bit more to my pay stubs. But I mean, other than that, it's been an okay week. It's hectic, but I go in tomorrow and I have to restock the store, hoping that nobody bothers me. And I mean, yeah, that's about it. So
So right now you get 2 days of the week off. Is that right?
I do. So I get Tuesday and Wednesday off. I get the middle of
Okay.
the week off. There, I am waiting on her to get back to me for a list that I made. I had a small little proposal. She seems open to it at first, but she didn't look too deep into it. But it was
Yeah.
basically I had it set up to where it was a 40-hour work week where I would almost get 40 hours, and it was where I would work from 7 to 5 for 4 days straight, and I would get 3 days off afterwards. And I was thinking to myself, yeah, that honestly seems fair because I spend most of my duration from 9 to 5 throughout the entire week. I would like to at least have, I don't know, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday off or something like that.
Are they required to give you breaks like every 3 hours or something?
It's mandatory. So usually after 2 hours of clocking in, you have to take a 10 to 15-minute break. I don't know. I think it's a 10-minute break. Now, I'm going to go out on a limb here and say I don't have time to take a 10-minute break. I really don't. I'm actually serious. I don't.
Yeah.
I can't really. And you know what's crazy is that the coworkers who I would honestly say put in much less effort than I do for the work, of course. They take like 3 to 4 10-minute breaks throughout the day, which is nuts. And they call it out willy nilly. And I'm appalled, and I think to myself, okay, well, I got 10 minutes away from that person, so that's fine. I'll take that. So you got to look at it from a different way. So
Yeah.
great. It means that this person is going to shut up for 10 minutes and they're not going to bother me. That's great. Fantastic. But the thing that I only get a 30-minute lunch break, and that's it. And usually
Yeah.
that's after, like, that's in between 1:30 to 2. And if it's past 2, I'm getting overtime pay.
Oh,
So
that's kind of good. At
it
least you
is.
get overtime.
Well, I know, but it's not that my boss doesn't have an issue with it or anything. It's just her biggest worry is that the state can get on to her about that, and she's mentioned it to me before in the past. She said the state has gotten on to me before about it, and I don't have a problem with you taking lunch at that hour, like an hour at 2:30. That's when I used to take it.
Yeah.
She told me I really don't have a problem with you taking it at that hour, but I must say the state is mad at me at the moment. So
Oh,
if
yeah.
you can try to force yourself to at least take it before 2. That'd be nice. And I said, okay,
Yeah.
I'll do that. Yeah. But I
Well, that's
mean,
good.
only issue is getting a moment to take that 30-minute break, because I'm bombarded. I'm asked to do one thing after another, and what's crazy too is that my boss has told my coworkers to lay off a little bit. Like you guys need to let him breathe a little. Like he's barely keeping his head above water. That's what she that so she told them in private when I wasn't there. I don't know when it was or anything, but it must have been like a week or two after I spoke with her. And she said if I need to tell them again, just come and talk to me. And I said, okay, I will. And I mean, it kind of worked a little bit, but to some extent, they're just, how would you say it? Just constantly just bombarding me with requests. And it's in situations, and I hate it because it feels like I'm forced to say yes because there's a customer there. A customer shows up, he talks to my coworker, and my coworker's like, "You want to help him out?" No, not really, because he talked to you in the first place, and I'm doing something
Uh-huh.
at the moment. So I have to say yes, because if I don't, otherwise I'm gonna look like an apathetic piece of work, and then I'm gonna get in trouble. So I actually have, and I told my boss this, and I said, obviously say yes. That's what I told her. I said, I'm gonna say yes, but I don't like the way that this type of help is like structured, where I'm forced to say yes, and it I I don't know. It's retail, man. It's retail. I'm not
It's
expecting.
retail.
That's all it is. It's retail. I'm not going to be there forever. I cannot wait, and I mean this. I'm only going to stay there probably for until next year. I cannot wait, and I mean wait, to just go to so many different houses and just clean the pipes, and that's it. Not even kidding. Just do plumbing. That's it. I don't care. It'll be so nice. Like, yeah, there may be some annoying people here and there, but it'll be way better. Way better, more fulfilling. I definitely know. I know for a fact that I would enjoy that line of work.
Yeah,
That's
that's
where
good.
I don't know, cuz I like to take such huge I take like pride in my own work, in, how would you say, in, like, I don't, how would I put this into words? I take it seriously.
Yeah.
I take pride in my work very seriously. Like, I don't tread lightly on it, and I don't like to, boast about my work or anything like that. I don't like to tell other people about my work. I just don't. I just like to quietly admire it, and I just want
Yeah.
somebody to look from afar and notice or whatever and point it out and say, "Yeah, that was that was good. More of that." That's the type of stuff that I like to see, and I get that on occasion. But there are I just that I mean, this job at the moment, as much as I there are some good aspects and some bad aspects to it, I do what I can to just, you know focus on myself, and because I know at least getting another year of experience is gonna do well. I know for a fact it'll do better. It'll do me good in the long run. So.
Yeah. Well, I'm kind of conflicted with my job too right now because I would like to get some work experience in a CS field. Uh, and it's hard to do that between school and a job already. And they're thinking about giving me more hours, but the problem is I don't really have more hours to give unless it's like when I'm on a break or, like summer vacation or spring break or something.
Mhm.
So I really think that, I don't know, maybe I should write up a proposal or something this summer, um, kind of explaining what I plan to do and what they ought to do. Because really, and I've talked about this several times, they need to find a replacement for me, or at least figure out a way to dedicate more funds to the landscapers that they hire, because not everything is getting done and that needs to get done, even with me there. And it's a problem that ideally needs to be solved. And also, the older gentleman that I'm working with, he's 86, and he's spread super thin to begin with without, volunteering. And
Shouldn't he be
he
retired
wants
at
to
this point?
retire.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
was gonna
he
say.
needs to retire. He wants to retire. It's like he needs to separate a little bit here. But there's always so much to do. It's like, well, kind of, if not us, then who else right now? That's kind of the deal.
So what you're saying is he worked himself to death.
Oh, he's basically working himself to death. Like, he has a wife with dementia, and he has to keep her around. He keeps her in the truck with the windows down while we're out working. And like, she's unfortunately, she's pretty hopeless at this point. She can't really do very much.
Ouch.
So
Gosh.
yeah, it's pretty sad situation, and he has to keep track of her. Um, so he's just spread so thin to begin with. He's basically taking care of her. He volunteers at the Salvation Army. He volunteers at our church. He has to take care of his own house. It's like a lot of work for an 86-year-old man to do. It's a lot of work for anyone to do. I don't know how he keeps up with all of it, but um, I don't think the church realizes so much that he's as busy as he is. It Old people are built diff, is what I'm learning here, because I work 6 hours a week, and that makes me tired enough. I guess I do have school, but it's a lot of work. So, and I really want that CS work experience, and I think I need it too, because if I want to go for the master's degree, I need
Where
to
can
have
you
some.
find that?
Uh, it could be anything from
Internship?
yeah, an internship to
Have you been looking or no?
no, not
Just
much.
haven't had the time. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I've been
wouldn't
too
blame you.
busy between work and school. I I mean, like a summer internship, that'd be really nice if I could get an internship over the
That'd be
summer.
good.
That'd be really good.
Yeah, that'd be good.
But I only have like 8 classes left to do, which is like 2 semesters as far as I know, unless I'm gonna have to talk to a counselor about that. I think I mentioned that last week, but uh, there's just so much on the plate, and also, it feels bad to take a step aside and play some video games every now and then, but just for the mental, it's like, okay, I have to stop working at some point.
You need to
I have
relax.
to sit back and relax every now and then. So
Well, I think I mentioned this to you before, but during school, at least, for the last 3 years at my junior college, when I was taking classes, I just could not, for some reason, for the life of me, even after I was done with all my assignments for the week and got ahead of next week, I could not bring myself to play video games. I just couldn't for some reason.
yeah,
And when I was doing schoolwork, I wanted to play. And then when I finished, I'm like, I am so bored. I don't want to play. I feel like I'm wasting time and I need to do schoolwork
yeah,
again. It
that's the
was
biggest thing.
the worst feeling possible. And now that I'm out of it and I already know I have my heart set on what I want to do, and I wouldn't blame, my mom or my girlfriend because they were like, well, if you're going to do another year at this work that you so desperately or so, you hate so much, which I mean, I I suppose I try not to get emotional about it or anything, and I have before in the past, but it's I do know exactly what I would like to do. I think the answer was in front of me the entire time, and it just took me basically not three, like 4 or 5 semesters to figure it out. And
Yeah, well,
now
that's part of the process, I
I
suppose.
yeah, it is. And I was mainly there for general ed at that point. And I was just trying to experiment, and I was thinking, well, I like this. I'll go with this for my degree, for
Mm-hmm.
my associates. It's not guaranteed. It's something to work with, I guess. And then next thing you
Yeah.
know, I'm doing something that is tangible, and I actually like doing tangible stuff, and I feel like I learn the best when I actually get my hands dirty. And lo and behold, this now I know exactly what I want to do later on. At least what I'm doing right now, I do not want to stay at this current workplace. I do not. This is the last place that I want to be. It's just not it, not for me. So, and I made that clear to my boss, and she knows that. And but she knows that eventually that I'd be leaving. I told her it's gonna be like 2026 at most. That's what I told
Yeah.
her. And so she has this mental countdown at the moment, like, okay, he's got X amount of months, about 16 to 18 months left here, so I gotta make most out of him at this point.
Yeah. Yeah, the church kind of has the same philosophy with me. They know that I'm going to leave, and they're kind of trying to siphon as much as they can out of me, especially with them wanting to increase my hours.
Well, I told her, I said, I want to stay because of the experience that I can get. And she knows that too, and she's acknowledged that. And I would say she's done a good job of providing that for me. And she's offered me to, for me to, do the steel training and go out to like certain
Yeah.
places to take the steel classes. And I think to myself, okay, well, if I do that, of course, getting certified is nice, but how long do you want me to be there for afterwards exactly? That's the thing. And I talked to her about that, and she said you can stay as long as you want. So if it's, I feel like it would be a crappy thing of me to do after I finish the steel training. It's already 2026, like mid-year of 2026, because that's the, I was thinking about leaving in July of 2026 for just to dip afterwards. I think is such a crappy thing to do. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I would have to do it fast. It would have to be sometime soon where I would need to do all the steel training. It's just the problem is I don't have time. And maybe it's best that I actually don't. And I think I probably should let her know in regards to that. Even though I do enjoy fixing stuff, what I do know is that I don't want to be a mechanic. I enjoy the aspects of mechanics. I do enjoy fixing stuff, like in regards to that and figuring out what's wrong with an engine. But it is just not what I really want to do as a career or anything. It's what I would like to do as a hobby, like fixing an old car, rebuilding an engine. That is
Yeah.
what I would love to do on my own time. Not what I want to do for a living. Plus, they don't make that much money, I would say. And what's crazy too is that I think I said this before. I'm going on a tangent. I'm sorry. We're 28 minutes in and we're talking about this
Oh
stuff.
my gosh.
But
Woo.
um she told me that if if the shop guys, because I work with two other gentlemen, if they stop spending so much money, that she would actually increase our wages substantially. She told us that she would pay us more if the shop would stop spending so much. They spend more than the nursery spends,
Oh wow.
which is, and I understand it's equipment. That makes sense. But I just think to myself, so much goes to waste for so just for over the tiniest stuff possible. It's unfortunate.
Yeah.
I don't know. I I really think that it's a lost cause, and that's why it's a good idea for me to leave sooner or later, and I would find
It's
more success.
over.
It really is, and I don't see really any light at the end of the tunnel for that place, and I don't think my bosses do either. I think what they're gonna do is they're gonna pass it on to their children, and they're
Mm.
just going to shrink down one aspect of the workplace and just completely overhaul another area. I was told that her son, when he takes over, he wanted to expand the shop, like add on a whole nother shop and then add on a whole nother building to where you can go inside and you can look at the kind of like an actual dealership, like a car dealership place, which
Mm.
is crazy. And it's a brilliant idea, I think, and it's definitely what that place would need in order to explode in popularity again, because that's where most of their money comes from. And she's told me that if if I wasn't there, if I wasn't there for however many months or years that I've been working there for, that they probably would have lost a lot of money. So it does feel nice to be appreciated in some regards, saying you going back there and doing the work that nobody else wants to do, and basically try to perform CPR and give the place life, so that way they can actually stop spending money and start earning money. It's a nice thing to hear. it,
Yeah.
it, it really is. And
Always nice to be commended on your competence.
I know, and it's something that I don't ask for, and it's just nice to hear.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I know when I leave, it's gonna go back in the gutter. I already know the place is gonna go back down the drain. It'll go back to square one before I even started working there. But it's nice to know that when I was there, it was actually in a okay state.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anywho, uh,
Yeah.
well, moving on.
First thing.
Moving on.
Yeah.
Uh, what do you got? What do you what would you? I guess one of the biggest things that has been going on as of late is the premiere for Snow White.
Yeah.
So we had the premiere for Snow White. It was a private premiere. Disney, I guess, decided to only invite a certain select few members, I guess, to.
And then it came out yesterday.
And it was a disaster from what I've heard.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't really say anything about it. I can't criticize it because I've never, seen it, of course. But
Yeah, we haven't watched it.
judging by the
Yeah.
trailers, it looks awful. It looks horrible.
Well, and nearly
This-
every review has said that it's pretty bad. Like I watched The Critical Drinker. I actually have that pulled up on my screen. And
Oh,
he, I generally like his commentary. He sometimes,
okay.
like, I don't like the clips he uses. It's kind of gross.
What I know at least is that there's been a trend with the Critical Drinker, at least from what I know on one of his past videos. I forgot what it was, but he got a lot of backlash from a lot of comments. I think it was Mickey17, and he explained, he's like, well, I didn't even watch the movie or anything, and people in the comments were like, okay, well, how can you talk about it if you haven't seen it? Like, you're just going off of the reviews, off of the review score. I don't know if that's the case for this. I doubt it, but
No, he watched this one.
he actually did go and see the movie. Okay, well, there was Matt Walsh as well. He look, he, to some extent, he's funny, but there are other times where he just needs to learn to admit when he's wrong. He just refuses to admit I'm sorry, it's true. He thinks he's right about a lot of things, and he is to some extent, but
Yeah.
he's also wrong in a lot of areas too, especially in regards to the entertainment industry, I would say.
Yeah.
Sonic the Hedgehog 3, he was like, I didn't even pay attention to the movie, but I can tell you it was boring. And I'm like, dude, it's a kid's movie. What are you on about? Are you going to actually review the movie and talk about it and what you liked and disliked about it and give it a decent score or something? Or are you just going to say, oh, I braved through it like every father of four would have, and I just slept through it? That's not a review. I'm sorry. It's just not. But
Yeah.
anyways, I heard this movie was a disaster from what I heard. Your sister told me that the IMDb score was like a 2 out of 10 star rating or something like that, and
Yeah. and then the Rotten Tomatoes were pretty bad. It was like under
It was like a 40 or
50%.
something. I don't know.
Yeah, and they also, I think the audience score was pretty bad too. Pulling it up.
Pull it up.
Let's see it.
Pull it up. Let's see it.
Oh wow, actually the audience score is a lot better.
That's interesting.
74%. Yeah, that's not what I expected to see, honestly.
No, that's not what I expected to see either.
I mean, maybe it's better than I thought it would be.
Maybe, I guess, but
They did have the kiss at the end. That's what I heard. So I think they did that to soften
to soften the
the
blow.
blow.
Yeah, but the
Yeah.
thing is, I'm gonna be honest with you, Logan. I don't care about the actress or the actors or anything like that. All I'm
Yeah.
gonna say is nobody asked for this. Nobody.
Correct.
I
Yeah.
think people are missing the overall point exactly. Nobody asked for a live action musical reimagining of, as you can see here, of the classic 1937 film. Nobody asked for this. I didn't ask
Yeah.
for it. You didn't ask for it.
Yeah.
I know for a fact you didn't ask for it. That's for sure. So,
Well, I
but
mean, the problem is like
I
if they were gonna do it, the least they could have done was stick to the original story.
they could, yeah, and it goes back to the what do you call it? The How to Train Your Dragon live action remake. Who asked for this? Nobody. Absolutely nobody
Yeah.
asked for it. Nobody.
They just seem like cash grabs, to be honest with you.
Well, these are cash grabs, and next
Yeah.
thing you know, we're gonna get a Bambi live action pretty soon. With Kathleen Kennedy overseeing the production and putting a gay chick in it and whatever. Going back to the South Park Pandaverse.
Yeah. I think wasn't Oh yeah, I think there were some announcements on The Mandalorian and Grogu, the movie. I
Yeah.
think they announced the budget for that.
Yeah, what was it? A $250 million budget or something? Or
I think it was just over 300 million, which
I,
is pretty crazy, but I think that's the least expensive Star Wars movie that's ever come out.
well, you know, was the most expensive failure? Green Lantern, starring Ryan Reynolds. It was like
When was that?
it was like 2011 or something, I think.
Oh.
Yeah, here it is. Yeah, it was bad.
Uh-oh.
It was bad. It was really bad.
I kind of like bad movies, though. Did I ever mention that I watched The Fantastic Four recently?
Yeah, how is it? You know, for movies like that, I'm just gonna say it.
Yeah.
I like the 2005 Fantastic Four. I'm a sucker
Yeah,
for
those are the
that
ones I
movie.
watched.
I
Yeah.
like that movie because it's aware. It's like a B movie type of movie. That's what it is.
Yeah.
It really
Yeah,
is.
yeah, yeah.
It's self-aware. It's aware that what they're doing is dumb, and
Yeah.
they just
Is that's
they
the one with
embrace it.
Captain America, right?
Yeah, with Chris Evans.
Yeah.
I actually did like. Let's see. Not the 2015. Good lord, that was.
I haven't watched
was
that one.
From what I know, that was
I
a
should look that
tragedy.
one up, actually. I haven't watched that one. But yeah, I think they were good. Like I liked them a lot. 27 and 45, dude, it didn't deserve that.
I know.
It's like an 80%.
Yeah.
I think they're pretty good. The second one wasn't as good as the first one, but
let me see. Because this was the same time around when Garfield the movie came out, and
the Silver Surfer one wasn't as good. The Garfield movie, that was a hilarious movie.
I like the Garfield movie. I don't know why.
I do too.
I don't know why it did so poorly too.
Yeah.
Oh well, I have a copy of it for the PSP. So.
Oh my gosh, dude!
I paid $15 for that.
That's crazy.
It's not a bad movie. It's not a bad movie.
I know there's so many movies that are mid at worst.
It got 75 million at the box office.
Oh, I watched Moana 2. I don't think I talked about that.
Yeah, how was that?
It was very mid.
Mid. I kind of
Yeah,
expected that
it was
because
inoffensive. I think that was the best thing about it. It didn't bother me.
you know what sequel wasn't mid? Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah, isn't let's see, is it the second movie or the third movie that's having an anniversary soon? I think it was
in
Return
my
of the
in my
Jedi.
honest opinion, no. What was it?
No, is it? It might be Empire Strikes Back.
What was it? Return of the Jedi. I think got its 40th anniversary. I think last year or something.
One of them is having an anniversary, I think, this year. I saw something on it.
This movie is a masterpiece. I don't care. It's a masterpiece. By my book,
This is the Hoth one, right?
yeah, this is the best Star Wars movie ever. The
I
best.
disagree with you on
I know
that.
you do. I know you do, but this
You
is
know
my
which one I
all.
think is the best?
Which one? Episode 3 or what?
Yeah.
Yeah, you think episode 3 is the. Hey, I mean, to each
Is
their own.
that's Revenge of the Sith, isn't it?
Yeah, well, and I think I can tell. Well, part of the reason why you love episode 3 so much is because of the Clone Wars, I would say.
Yeah,
You know what I found out?
definitely.
Dave Filoni, when he was working on the Clone Wars series, the animated series, he had to purposely make sure that throughout those entire 6 seasons, that Anakin and oh my gosh, General Grievous
Grievous.
didn't
Yeah,
meet at
never
all.
met.
I found that
Yeah.
out recently, and I'm like, oh my gosh, yeah, for continuity's
They
sake,
had some close encounters too, but they never met.
they never met, and I never
Yeah.
realized that until
That's
now.
pretty cool, right?
It is cool. That's great, but I
Yeah.
I still think Empire Strikes Back is the best, one of the best Star Wars movies. I still think it's the number one, and it's one of the greatest movies of all time, in my opinion. I really do. It
It is very good, and it has a lot of the most iconic moments from Star
oh,
Wars. The
you could
I am your father, the Hoth battle,
that well,
all sorts of
it's
stuff.
iconic, and because nobody's really ever experienced, I guess, that twist before, that type of plot twist, like I am your father. That
Yeah.
I don't know. We're going down the rabbit hole, of course, but I mean, we went
Well,
from Snow
the
White.
movies section of the podcast has to be brought up, you know?
It does, yeah, that's true. And I mean, I want to go see Mickey 17. I really do. It's just a matter of time of trying to
I
find
don't
a
know what
good
Mickey
date.
17 is.
It's supposed to be a it's a comedy, and it's
Yeah.
supposed to be based off of a book, I believe.
It has Batman in it.
Robert Pattinson. I don't know why the tomato meter is low, because I heard a lot of people say I heard a lot of people mention that they did actually enjoy watching this movie. It was hilarious, from what I know.
So you said it's a what kind of movie?
It is a returning to his fort of daffy sci-fi with a withering social critique at its core, proving along the way that you can never have too many Robert Pattinsons. It's about, let me see, what to know. Let's go to what to know. Oh, well, that's helpful.
It's a thriller mystery sort of deal.
It is a science fiction film based on the 2022 novel Mickey 7 by Edward Ashton. Stars Robert Pattinson as Mickey Barnes, who joins a space mission to colonize the planet. I'm not even going to pronounce that. As an expendable, a disposable worker who can be cloned and regenerated
Oh.
after death with his memories largely intact. That's what it
Uh-huh.
is.
I gotcha.
And it's
I
supposed to
think
be
I've
a
heard
comedy.
something about that one.
Oh, let's go
Interesting.
to IMDb. It's got a 7.1 out of 10. I mean, that seems not bad, I would say.
Yeah, I remember I've seen ads for this one.
I do actually.
Interesting.
I want to go see this. So let
Yeah.
me going back to Snow White, because I remember your sister mentioned that it got pretty. Oh dear.
2 out of 10.
2.3 out of 10.
Ouchies.
That is
That's pretty bad.
not good. That's not good.
Yeah.
That's not good at all. How did
I I don't want to watch it because I think it's the wrong, like, based on all the press that I've heard, it's like serving up the wrong message.
How did this do better than?
What is that, 7 out of 10?
Yeah.
I guarantee you that movie is not a 7 out of 10.
Rotten Tomatoes and IMDb to some extent are really not that credible, I would say. You really have to watch these movies for yourself to make your own determination.
I agree with that, yeah.
Like, what was it? Rotten Tomatoes, in my honest opinion, lost all forms of credibility when Netflix put out that show. Oh my gosh, what was it called? It was,
Little something or other.
yeah, it was so perverted. It was bad. It
Yeah,
was really
yeah.
bad. You know what I'm talking about. I forgot what it was
Yeah, I
called.
know. It's that weird one. Oh,
What was it
what was
called?
it called?
That's how bad it was. I don't even want to recall what it was because it's
It was the
how.
one with the girls and stuff in it. It was like they were sexualizing girls
Yeah, they
that were
were.
underage or something. I don't remember
I
what it
don't
was
remember what
called.
it was called either, but
Well, they also lost credibility when they gave the FNAF movie a low score and the Sonic movies low scores.
the fans loved it. Like I loved
Yeah,
it. I
fans
loved
love
it.
these
Was
movies.
great. It was awesome. I loved it. Or not Snow White. It was.
One thing that the Critical Drinker said about Snow White was that uh, we need to finally accept that Gal Gadot cannot act.
She did good in. I thought she did decent in Wonder Woman, the
Well, that's what
2017.
everyone says. I thought she did decent in Wonder Woman, but
Not
every acting job
1984.
she's had since then has been less than good.
Yeah, it's gone downhill ever since.
uh, yeah. This is have you seen this sort of
With
stuff?
hand to you. Oh my gosh, the Minecraft Grimace.
Yeah. Dude. What is this? It looks so bad.
I
wonder
kind of
if
want. I want the Grimace. That's what I want. I want the
I wonder if
Grimace
you can
toy.
actually get the Happy Meal box. Wait, where is it? I want that. That
That's
looks cool.
that's actually cool.
The egg's
Is
kind
that
of
like
cool.
a lava soda? Is that what it is that they got going on there?
Wait, is this an adult meal? Or is this a Happy Meal?
Is that an adult or a Happy Meal? That looks like an adult meal.
It does look like an adult meal. That's
'Cause
like a large fries and a Big Mac and nuggets.
That's a Big Mac. Yeah,
This is not a child's meal.
that is not a child's meal. When can I get this?
Is this a helmet?
When can I get this? The Minecraft.
I don't know.
This is actually decent. The toys are good, but
The ad is terrible, but the toys look awesome.
yeah, those look good. But
This is cool. Like the what's his name? Hamburglar.
Yeah.
Bring back Ronald McDonald. I want my Ronald
You know
McDonald.
what I want them to go back to the. You remember the early? Speaking of nostalgia, do you remember the early 2000s McDonald's, like what it originally looked like inside the
Oh yeah,
the fast food
yeah. It
restaurants?
was way different.
It was so. Oh my gosh! It takes me back to such a simpler time. I loved it. Grimace, Ronald McDonald, the Hamburglar, all that stuff. It was great.
Oh yeah.
I think they got rid of Ronald McDonald because it was too scary to kids. I think.
Well, they had that whole
Debacle.
Oh my gosh,
What was wrong with it?
They had that you know, the clown thing way back when we were like in middle school.
Oh, the killer clown stuff.
Yeah, the killer clowns.
That was crazy.
I think
I shouldn't be laughing.
I think they had some troubles marketing with Ronald McDonald because he was a clown.
Well, especially
and kids were being afraid of clowns.
Well, especially in our area. You know that I think that went viral on the news. That wasn't just a
Yeah.
local thing. That was a actual national issue. There
Yeah,
was
I think there were.
it was a bunch of killer clowns loose, man. There was this huge trend,
Yeah,
and they what was it? They banned a
Pedro
lot of
Pascal is
like you would
everywhere.
be if I'm not mistaken, you would actually get arrested if you were dressed up as a clown for Halloween.
Seriously?
I think that was. I don't remember. Schools banned it. I know that.
Who?
Schools definitely banned it. Oh, not the meat cannon
Oh,
JD Vance. I don't know if you
oh
remember
my
that.
gosh.
That for the audio listeners, there was a huge like meme week of just faces of JD
JD
Vance.
Vance
It was nuts. I think
everywhere.
we talked about it,
That yeah, we did. That was pretty
but
funny.
this is the stuff that I miss from the early McDonald's. Like, do you remember when our food used to look like this? Even like pre 2010, it
Yes,
used to look
dude.
like
That
this. I miss this, and the
the
menu items.
aesthetics, dude.
I want to go back to this so badly. Tell you what, Taco Bell. I'll give Taco Bell credit where credit is due. A couple months back, they did like a promotion. I don't know if it's still going on, but it was
Wait, wait,
like,
wait, wait, wait. Go to that purple thing. What is that?
oh, I remember these,
Oh my gosh, dude.
but
Do you remember those?
I do, and I
They
remember them.
never
They
worked.
never worked. I remember that.
But they made me happy.
But
Dude. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, dude.
I miss this. It was such a
My
like, do you remember
childhood.
when the menus used to actually look
Yes.
like this? I
Yes.
go back to this, please. Please go back to this. I miss it so much. I'm so tired of the digitized era. It's we're never
Yeah.
going back. But
I know.
I'll give Taco Bell props because they did. I'll see if I can find it real quick. But they over the last they did like a promotion celebrating like the last like 50 years of
Mhm.
Taco Bell like throughout the
Oh,
decades,
yeah.
and they had like all their little specials, and the cups were surrounding the themes of that decade. It was so
Yeah.
nostalgic. I loved it.
Sometimes Taco Bell does things really wrong, and sometimes they just get
It
it
was
right.
this. It was like
Oh, that's
this.
epic.
That's what it was. It was this
That's
type of
cool.
stuff. It was they did like special not cups like these, but it was like disposable cups similar to
I want
this.
one.
I do too.
I
I
want all of those.
this one right here, the one that just
That's
says
it.
that's the one. That's my
That's the
era.
one.
That's my
Yeah,
era of Taco Bell that I want
I know.
back. I want it back so badly. We're never getting it. And
Dude,
this,
and
the OG
dude.
Doritos, do you remember this? I
Yes, of course.
the old Pepsi and Coca-Cola logos. I
Yeah,
miss that. I really do. We're
I
never
know.
getting that.
That's so cool.
It's just a what a time throughout the decades.
Wow.
I want them to go back to this. Just go back to this, please. You had it right. You don't none of this. It was perfect. Really was.
Yeah,
Cut
I
to
miss.
this.
I don't miss. That looks disgusting.
That actually does not look good. That looked mid.
Oh my gosh. Oh.
But
Well, Minecraft Live went on recently.
oh yeah, it
That's
did.
the next thing I have. Um, it looks like they're announcing a bunch of little things here and there, like including this. It's like a mini ghast, which is kind of interesting. Ghastling is what they're calling it.
Now, are they doing only one mob this time around? Was there a stupid mob vote again, or are they actually putting out a
I
whole bunch of mobs?
I don't really know actually. What the heck?
What am I
You can
looking
ride a
at?
ghast?
Why? Who asked for
What
that?
the heck? Is this Minecraft anymore?
That's not Minecraft. We have the
I know.
Elytra, or the Elytra, however you want to pronounce it,
Yeah. Or the Elytra, or
or what, however you
any
pronounce
of
it.
the million. Oh my gosh.
Oh no,
You know what I don't like about Minecraft Live?
I'm not seeing this. I hope you know. I'm not watching the Minecraft movie.
Yeah, I don't think I'll watch it
It
either.
doesn't look good. I'm sorry. It just
I mean,
doesn't.
if I hear it's really funny and really good, then maybe I'll go watch
It
it. But
needs to be an animated movie. It needs to be like a CGI animated movie.
yeah, like
Like
this,
that.
dude.
I don't know why they didn't do this as their movie.
Just get Element Animation to make a movie for you.
I know. And he would be basically the Stan Lee of that universe.
I know. Totally. I don't like Minecraft Live anymore because it's not actually live. Remember when they used to do Minecon?
I do. I remember Minecon. When was the
That was
last time they
cool.
did that? It was like Florida. Like that was like six
That
or
was
seven
like
years ago.
pre-pandemic. Yeah,
They stopped doing it.
sad. Unbelievable.
It was
So yeah, we're getting
unbelievable.
smaller and smaller Minecraft updates, and they're coming in formats that I dislike more and more.
Yeah,
Sad.
it is sad.
Um, what is next? I have Okay, let's talk about this. This is kind of cool because I always talk about Xbox every podcast. I can't get away from it.
Well, I
Um,
haven't brought up uh one video game, I don't think, for this
yeah, that's
podcast.
next on the list.
Is it?
Yeah, see, it's right
Oh,
here.
no, I was talking about Call of Duty. And how I
Oh,
brought it
oh,
up now.
oh, oh, oh. Well, too late. Yeah.
Too late now. Well, Nelson. Oh no, I did talk about it. I'm like, oh, I got gameplay for you guys.
Oh, that's right. This is kind of cool.
So what's the deal here?
Do you see that? That right there? You see
Steam.
what that says? Steam. Yes, they had this page up on their website. Xbox did.
Xbox
And
has
then they
that?
got rid of it. Yeah, it had a Steam button on their website. So there's more and more and more speculation that
And
we're going to
evidence
see
that they're gonna.
Steam come to Xbox.
Well, what was it? Valve had a huge say in the Microsoft acquisition of Activision, from what I know. Like they were able
Yeah.
to, they had a lot of power in regards to that because Activision does put a lot of their games on the Steam platform, and when they wanted to, Gabe Newell, of course, he came out and he said, "Yeah, we're fine with it. Go on ahead, and we want to work with you guys on a lot of stuff in the future." So I think that was our first indication of, this type of integration that was coming into play. I do, however, it makes me curious at least because I believe Valve takes, I think, 20% of
Yeah, they
Steam
take a pretty
sales.
large
They
percentage.
take a good chunk in order for you to be on their platform, but I think the benefits that they offer, at least in order for you to publish your game on their platform, is well worth the profit. I would say profit loss.
Yeah.
Valve,
Exposure is really big.
it's a good, yeah, it's good. I would say because if you, because of the the game recommendations and games that you play or similar to games that you play, of course, it pops up in those categories, and
Yeah.
it just makes me curious as to how they're going to integrate the two together because as Steam takes a chunk of sales, game sales. I wonder how that'll work with Xbox as well. I'm sure they figured it out already at this point, and I think
My
it's
understanding is that they're really, really, really working hard to make Windows 11 more handheld friendly, more controller friendly, and
it makes me,
that
if they're working
is
with
going to
Valve on
mean,
that, that's a good thing, I would say.
yeah,
Well,
yeah,
Microsoft is a software company. It's no brainer. That's what they're known for.
yeah,
They're known for making just software, and it, to me at least, it would make sense that yeah, we're gonna work with Valve because they've with the Steam Deck they've you know worked on Linux, and they made it possible to use the Steam Deck on Linux. Like you can use
yeah,
the little the touchpad and the controller, the controls that it comes with to interact and
right,
basically program with Linux. It's great.
yeah,
It really is. It got a
yeah,
lot of people into, I would say, a lot of people into Linux gaming. It really did. It was that stepping stone, that
yeah.
barrier
It brought
for,
a lot of people to
it broke
Linux for
that
sure.
barrier for a lot of people. And
Yeah.
I
Well,
think
and
that was
they did
good.
a big job improving game compatibility and stuff with the wine layers and stuff that they brought
Yeah.
to Steam games. Yeah. But I think it sounds like they're going to try to put Windows on Xboxes, like Xbox hardware. So
My only concern in regards to that, I'm wondering if they're gonna follow the same footsteps with Valve at least. Maybe that's why they're working so closely with them now. Is because they want to replicate that same experience as the Steam Deck. Like, okay,
yeah,
you you have, your person, you go into desktop mode, that's Windows,
that's
and then
100% what I think it's going to
then
be.
you switch back into gaming mode and it pulls up the
Yeah,
Xbox UI. If your
yeah,
game is not available on the Xbox UI, go back into Windows mode and port it over into the Xbox UI and it'll be there on your dash. My only concern is the optimization, and that's it. That's my only
yeah,
concern, because I don't want to play a game that I have to constantly optimize. You and I both know how optimization goes. We both have had our fair share of frustrations when it comes to that type
yeah,
of stuff. We, like, for us at least, we want just ease of access. Like, we want a console that we can just boot up, plug in and play.
quickly. Yeah,
No, none of this additional crap, no drivers to download, none of that crap. If I can just
yeah,
stay on, the Xbox, UI side of things in the gaming mode and really not have to go into Windows mode for anything, I see that as a win. That's what I
yeah,
think. But if I
yeah,
do absolutely need to at any point, like, okay, yeah, I kind of want to have some of my Steam games on my Xbox library, fine. I'll go into Windows mode. I'll boot into desktop mode, download them, and put them into my Xbox library in gaming mode. But my only concern is, how is it going to be optimized? If I own a copy on Steam, will that automatically translate over to the Xbox library? That's what I'm curious, because I know they do like the Game Pass
maybe
PC for Windows.
it'll launch through Steam, but you can stay in the Xbox UI, right?
Well,
That's what I'm thinking.
what I
Maybe.
know for certain, Logan, is I'm going down the rabbit hole. So it's just
I'm gonna
something
look
that
up
we're
how
we're
many
gonna have to.
Xbox Series consoles have been sold.
Series X or
Because
S, or maybe you should look up
yes,
both in total.
um, Xbox Series sales 29 million by the end of 24.
From what I know, at least
That's a lot.
their sales figures have been down by like 40% from what I
Yeah,
know. It's been
yeah.
it's been rough, I would say.
They're suffering a lot compared to PlayStation. PlayStation is pretty much tracking with the PS4 right now. The PS5 is. So,
I don't know why ever since, it that those sales figures came out for Xbox, at least people are saying, "Oh, Xbox is dying. This is the end of Xbox. There's not going to be a new console." And I'm thinking,
always.
guys, that Microsoft is a software company. If they really wanted to, they would pump so much money into this crap in order to breathe life into it. Like, you
Yeah,
guys don't understand this. Like, they have a dominance over Sony in regards to this. Sony does not have that type of money. They just don't.
yeah. Well, and 39 million is not a number to scoff at. That's a lot of
No, it's not.
consoles. Like, if you think about support for one piece of hardware, like all of these consoles, all 39 million of them are pretty much the same. Same hardware, same specs. It Optimization for something like that goes a long way because there are 39 million people playing on the same thing. Uh, that's just not something you get with PC gaming.
No.
So, yeah, I think it's really interesting that we might see Steam come to actual Xbox hardware. I hope that does happen. I think it's a no-brainer. Like Microsoft owns both Xbox and Windows. Why not merge the two and make it easier for gaming on both devices. Seems like an easy decision to make. So I'm looking forward to the day where I'll be able to play my Steam games on my Xbox. And
Yeah.
maybe my Xbox games on my Windows PC, so that would be good.
Yeah,
It's
that would
just
be good.
the combination of libraries and the games that I own is something I want because obviously I paid for both games or games on both sides, so I want to be able to access those wherever I can. The one of the reasons I brought up the Xbox hardware sales, 39 million, was because Game Pass has reached a milestone, as far as I know, of 50 million subscribers,
Yeah.
which means that not only are almost all, I guess it would be like a combination of Xbox One, Xbox Series, and PC gamers that are purchasing Game Pass subscriptions.
Yeah.
That's a lot. 50 million. 50 million people are paying anywhere from, what is it, like $12 a month, $10 a month, $10 a month to $15 a month.
Yeah.
That's pretty.
Well, it's a
It's a pretty
good
good budget.
it's a good form for like, a point of entry, I
Yeah,
would say.
that makes me think. Oh, I really want
Well, I think
online to be free.
part of that for why they're really, it doesn't seem to me at least that they're all too concerned about their sales figures being down by like
Yeah,
what 20 to 40% from what I know from
as Game
2023.
Pass is up.
Well, because Game Pass is up, yeah, of course, and that can inflate the poor sales figures, and they don't really view it as much of a profit loss, I would say.
Yeah,
But I'm sorry, but you guys would actually be doing so much better in the console market if you just made multiplayer free to play. That's literally all they have to do is just make Xbox Live Gold free to play, and they would get like the best press possible.
yeah,
That going back to the whole Steam and Xbox thing, it actually makes me think that they
that could
will.
open doors. Yeah,
There is a huge possibility that they will get rid of making players pay for multiplayer,
yeah.
and I see that as an absolute win. And I
Because
mentioned this
yeah,
before.
if they
Like I
do
would.
bring Steam to Xboxes, why would you purchase the games with Xbox instead of with Steam? Because you could get online multiplayer for free with Steam.
Oh, look at this nasty. Oh,
Oh my gosh,
that
look at
was
that.
that was great. And then I died afterwards. So that was the best clip I hit for. I was doing so well because I haven't played in a while. That's why the game
That's
threw me a
funny.
bone. But um, yeah, that's probably another thing too with that possibility because if they're going to integrate Xbox and Steam,
Mm-hmm.
it,
That could be big.
it'll probably be one of the biggest deals, especially
It could
because
be
if I don't
like
have to pay for
they already
multiplayer, that's
say that
great.
Game Pass is the best deal in gaming. Um,
Well, you get a bunch of
but
great games for $10 a month. I mean, yeah,
yeah,
that's true. It is, I would say.
so just add on top of
Not
that.
Black Ops 6 though. Don't buy
Yeah.
Black Ops 6. Don't buy it. Wait until the
I did
games go
not
on
buy it,
sale.
and I feel great.
Yeah, I know.
But I did get to play it, and I think it was fun while I played it, especially when I played it with you. So
I mean, I
that was good.
I still play it on occasion. I do. But if you ever want to, for some reason, have that
Well, I don't
weird,
have Game Pass Ultimate anymore, so
well, if you ever have that weird itch again, feel free to let me know because I will probably play again in a party and then we could probably get destroyed.
yeah. Mm-hmm. I want to go to that game store with you again.
I know I haven't been there in months. We need to go
I haven't
back.
been there in a long time.
I know.
So
I'm
I
wondering.
have spring break, not next week, but the week after. Let's do it on a Tuesday or Wednesday.
Okay, well, I have Tuesday and Wednesday off for those days. Okay, yeah, we should do that then.
Yes. Yes,
definitely.
please.
I'm wondering. I'm curious to see exactly what what's been added now.
I know, because we haven't been there in so long, you'd kind of expect to see something.
Something new. Yeah, because we were
Yeah.
going like every week and there was really nothing new.
Not much that was changing, yeah.
But
For the viewers, there's a really cool game store near
there's a
us. They have
local
like everything.
there's a local game store near us and they
Yes.
pretty much have almost anything that you can imagine.
They have
Uh
they have old consoles, new consoles. They have games from almost every era. It's really cool. So,
Pretty cool
we
stuff,
love
I
going
would
there.
say. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's bought like every single time whenever Plants vs Zombies if he sees a copy of it, he buys it.
Yeah. Every
He
time I see a copy of Garden Warfare, I buy
he buys it.
it.
Hey, I mean, hey, to each their own. I buy whenever I see copies
Uh,
of certain other video games. I mean, I'd
yeah.
buy it too.
Mhm.
It's just I'm surprised. I wonder if Concord is there. I bet you they have it like
Woo.
on a like on a podium or something like that, and it's like listed
Yeah,
at
dude.
$400.
You said you wanted to talk about this game too,
Yeah,
Assassin's Creed Shadows.
yeah, Assassin's Creed Shadows. This one is interesting, I would say. Um,
Yeah.
I
It's had a lot of controversy surrounding it.
it has had a lot of controversy surrounding it, and for me at least, I have not really played that much of an Assassin's Creed game before, and I've talked about this before, and I am interested. I am thinking about picking it up, and I hear a lot of people say, "Dude, just play Ghost of Tsushima." And yeah, you're probably right, but I've watched a couple of other YouTubers review it. Some, I would say, arguably really good, credible YouTubers. Some Ordinary Gamers comes into mind. I don't know if you've heard of him, Logan, but he's the uh, stereotypical, as he mentions it, he said it
Yeah.
himself, the fat Indian man. But he reviewed
Yeah, I
it.
would
He
say he's
said
pretty credible, but
he reviewed it. He talked about it, and he said, I mean, I had a fine time on it. I knew what
yeah.
to expect. I wasn't disappointed. My expectations were low, but for what it offered, I think it was a little it's just the same, but just
Yeah.
same stuff, different disc. It's basically, I guess you could say, the Call of Duty of Assassin's Creed. That's how he described it,
Okay.
and he's like, if you like Assassin's Creed, you're gonna like this. If you don't like Assassin's Creed and you're hoping for something new, you're not going to like this. If you're a newcomer, you'll probably enjoy this for what it has to offer, but don't expect anything from the whatever the whatever the franchise has to offer in the future. And from what
Yeah.
I know, at least, Ubisoft is like, as you know, they've had a huge trend of shutting down a lot of studios and a lot of live service games, and part of it was their quarterly earnings. They made like, what was it, within the last year, like around 900 million, I think, and it was
Oh wow.
bad for them. It was really bad. Like, it's gotten really
Yeah.
bad for them, and in order to make up for that earnings, they had to make back, I think, like 400 million or something like that, and they were
Wow.
banking off of Assassin's Creed Shadows to do so well, and which
Yeah.
is probably why the marketing, I guess you could say, was controversial. But I'll be honest, when I saw the trailers, I really did not think anything bad of it. I didn't see any type of hidden message behind it or anything like that.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, sure, they're okay. uh the supposedly elephant in the room here, there's a black samurai, a black Japanese samurai, and from what I
Yeah.
know, I was thinking to myself when I first saw that, I'm like, okay, I've heard about something in regards to this. There was another game that did this as well. I forgot how to pronounce it. I think it's Nioh. I forgot how to pronounce it. Nioh. Noah. I think that's how you pronounce it. I may be wrong. But it had that same Black Samurai. And I went online, I looked, and I checked out a bunch of, history articles. And it turns out this guy it's a real historical figure. and I didn't really get the impression that it was supposed to be like a DEI checklist or anything like that. I really didn't get that impression. The main focus, I think, was on the other character, the assassin chick, whatever her name is. I forgot what it was called, but she's a fictional character,
Yeah.
and I mean, from what it the gameplay wise, it seems like her character offers a lot more in terms of like stealth and just combat capabilities, I guess. And that was from Mudahar's review, and he said I spent more time playing as that character than the samurai. But I mean, I don't really. I think at least on the conservative side of things, going into politics a little bit here, I think it really, for some reason, whenever the conservatives see something historical and they see like some type of, black figure, I guess, even on the liberal side of things, they get up in arms about a lot of stuff like that's not historically accurate. This is just a diversity quota. And I think to myself, can you people just not get on about this crap for like 5 minutes and just enjoy the game for what it has to offer? Like, I don't know, because I remember this. It reminded me of the same controversy surrounding Battlefield One, where it's a World War I game, and on the front cover it's a black dude holding a pistol, and people got like all up in arms and everything, both on the conservative and liberal side of things, about, oh, it's not historically accurate, oh, it's just like I said, it's just forced diversity. And I'm thinking, okay, do you guys not actually look into this stuff? Because it's supposed to be, I didn't even know the Harlem Hellfighters existed until I found out about that game. Like, it was a real group of people who fought during World War I, and some of them fought in World War II, and they fought under the impression that they eventually would get earn enough respect. And it was part of, it was like the early, how would you say it, like the early stepping stones for the civil rights movement, I would say. Really cool stuff, by the way, for how it's all connected. And I mean, when they came back home, they were just completely just, I'm sure some people, of course, back then had different viewpoints, but they were just completely bullied, and just for after they came back home fighting in those two wars. But I
Mm.
mean, going back to the whole, you know, I guess you could say the supposed elephant in the room with that black samurai, I don't really see any issue with it. I just don't. I don't see any type of forced diversity or anything. I just don't. I mean, you may think differently, but I just thought to myself, okay, this is a pretty cool setting. I'm interested. I saw a bunch of gameplay, and I'm thinking, yeah, maybe I might pick this up. Maybe.
Yeah.
It's, I don't
Well,
know.
I'd like to hear your opinions about it if you ever decide to
I
play it.
might I might get it. I don't know. Maybe tonight or something, and I might play a few hours on it,
Uh-huh.
and I'll probably give a little review sometime next week of it for what I think. But
Okay.
it I don't know. Maybe I've gotten to the point now where you could probably, you disagree. I know that, but you could probably say that, you know I've gotten to the point where honestly I really don't give a crap about the I don't really view it as forced or anything. There are times where, okay, for
I think the point you're trying to make
yeah,
is it doesn't matter
I'm
whether it's
just
forced or
rambling.
not. What matters to you is that
Is the game
it's a
fun?
game
Is
and you
it
want to
fun?
play it and it's fun.
Yeah, that's what I think at
Yeah.
least. And if
Yeah.
it's like, I
There's
know,
there's a there's a point to that. I agree with that.
I think for telling stories in video games can be a lot of fun, and it can get a lot of players invested in history and care about history. And I think
Yeah.
if you can accomplish that, I think you've already won the majority of people over. The only issue that a lot of people have, even history buffs to some extent, is when it becomes historically inaccurate. And
Yeah.
I do think to some extent a lot of people need to understand that it's just a video game. and I'm sure the developers are aware that they do need to sacrifice some historical elements for the sake of gameplay. I mean, look at the gameplay background right now. This is in the 90s apparently, and everybody's firing laser guns. This is like I'm willing to suspend my disbelief to a certain degree because, it's a video game. Video games are supposed to be fun. They are. Was I having fun on this game? I actually was. I was kicking butt on this game, but yeah, like you said, I only care if it's actually fun. If the game is fun, then I think that's all I need. That's pretty much all I need. And I feel like I've
Yeah.
convinced myself enough to actually go buy a copy of Assassin's Creed now. So I'll probably
Sweet.
get it on Steam and I'll probably play it on the Steam Deck. That way I can just relax and probably go over to my girlfriend's house and play on it, and
Mm-hmm.
she'll bombard me to play Fortnite with her, or Call of Duty, or whatever else, and yeah. But I mean, it seems like a decent game, but there's a
Yeah.
lot of controversy surrounding it, and I think a lot of people just need to, actually play the game themselves or watch other people play the game themselves and come to their own conclusions about it, and not really rely
Yeah.
on other people, because you get a lot of bandwagoning from that. But there
Yeah.
was
Honestly, my exposure to this game has largely been from Asmongold,
yeah, mine
and
has
he's
too to
been
some extent.
very critical of it. Uh, but I'm certainly willing to accept or believe that it's, I like your position on it a lot. Um, you kind of just care more about the game itself rather than the politics behind it.
From what I know, at least,
Um,
that samurai is really not. It's more or less of a side character. From what I know, at least, a lot of people
yeah,
were. Some ordinary gamers. He said that he found himself playing as the ninja chick more
yeah,
than the actual samurai, just because of the gameplay offering that it had.
yeah,
But I don't know. To each their own. I mean, just play. It reminds me of that when Resident Evil 5 came out, where there was another. It's always a controversy. It really is surrounding these games, where you can't have a game set in the continent of Africa because you're killing Africans. Like, it's in Africa. It's been in Antarctica. It's been in Spain. It's been in North America. Like, just
yeah.
have fun with the game, for goodness sakes. Play
I
the
know.
game. Seriously.
It
Like,
seems like it shouldn't be that hard.
a location should not make a game racist. If that were the case, then why isn't the Jewish community in uproar for, for the
World War
games
II
that,
games or
yeah,
whatever.
exactly.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I think you had something else to talk about outside of Assassin's Creed. If you want to transition, I don't know. That's up to you, though.
Oh yeah, this is kind of cool actually. This is more tech stuff. I have most of what I have left is tech.
Okay.
Uh, this is a video by Optimum. I think you should watch it if you haven't already.
It's
But
a League of Legends chair. That's what it is.
I know, right? This is this is a VR headset, if you can believe it.
Wow.
It's really small, and actually, this is their second generation. They put the first generation out 2 years ago, and most people agreed that it was pretty nice. Um, but they've made several small changes to it, and they've made a lot more sales already of these.
Yeah, how much is this?
A
$5,000.
thousand, a thousand.
That whole setup that you get right here is 1,000.
No, just the VR, just the goggles. I think you have to pay extra for the strap and the headphones.
Yeah, but why would I get this when I could get a Valve Index?
Because this is better in every way.
Is it lighter than the Valve Index? Well,
It's
obviously.
it's a ton lighter. It's really small. It
That was
has
a
better
dumb question.
screens.
That was a dumb question. What's the
Well,
what's the refresh rate on that thing? Like 240, 360?
my understanding is that it's 75. which
Okay,
is not the
the
best.
Valve Index has 144 hertz,
Yes. Uh,
and you get controllers with the Valve Index, and you get two motion sensors with the Valve Index.
yeah, and I think this. So to me, this still strikes me as sort of a first generation product because
This
you
looks
have
like
to. I think you have to get base stations for this, like the Valve. I think you literally buy the Valve Index base stations
okay,
for outside in tracking. So
okay,
I think like you're not going to end up spending $1,000 on this. It's going to be more like $1,500, $2,000 for the full setup because I think you have to buy controllers and whatever else.
yeah,
But the point of this is it's a really sweet technology like showcase, right? Um, it's extremely small, extremely compact, very powerful technology. Like I my brother has the MetaQuest 3
hmm,
and that thing is so uncomfortable, especially if you have glasses. Like of course you can't wear glasses with this, but you get lenses that
I,
are
I,
different, I
I'm gonna
think.
be honest. I can't do the VR headsets. I actually
I
do get,
know.
I get stomach pain from it. I get
I
nauseated
know.
from it.
I know. And
That
I my
PSVR
hope would
headset,
be that
nope.
this would be better because supposedly the clarity on these is really good. So, and I think that's one of the bigger problems for me. Like the clarity is kind of a big problem,
Yeah,
I think. Um, but yeah, I think if they can make it really small and really light and really comfortable, using it for stuff like this would be so awesome. Like he's using it for his racing setup, and it's pretty sweet.
that is
Like
cool. I will say that
look at
is
that.
pretty cool.
Unbelievable. I can see all the textures, all the detail. It is ridiculous on the big screen too. Those optics are such a huge upgrade. I cannot overstate it enough. It's not like a small difference that I'm exaggerating. It's so far beyond every other headset that I've tried. It's just pretty insane. Something else I noticed.
I mean, they seem pretty good based on what he's saying. That's his own Batcave for tech. Yeah. So I just wanted to show that real quick. I think they're very cool, and I think
That is cool.
uh,
I will say that is pretty
that's
neat. That is neato burrito.
yeah. It's going in the right direction. Like VR headsets should not be getting bigger and bulkier. They should be getting smaller and more lightweight. So I think if we keep moving this direction and we get competing products, we should see prices come down and the value propositions.
Yeah,
I mean, Valve hasn't made like the Index is how old now?
they're still working on a new one. I think. I may be
Yeah.
wrong.
If they could put out something that competes with this, that would be insane. Like a lot of people would buy that product. So I think VR has a lot of promise. It's just
We're
it's
not there
still in
yet.
its infancy after so many years.
Well, everybody, for some reason, all the Apple fanboys, they thought that the Apple Vision Pro was basically going to be that
Yeah.
breakthrough for VR, and I'm thinking, you guys
Well,
are
and there's
just.
plenty of reason to think that. I mean, Apple
It's.
usually
I mean,
executes things pretty well,
they
but
usually are. How would you say it? What do you call it? It's basically they're supposed to represent like the invention of the light bulb. Like they're supposed to be the Thomas
yeah.
Edisons of, technology,
Right.
or that
They
next
chart
step.
chart paths or
Like
something, I don't
that's
know.
what they were with the iPhone. That's what they were
Yeah.
with the Macintosh. That's what they like they're supposed to
Right.
be the like the next
They've
step.
pressed forward a lot in a lot of the industries that
Like
are
they're
really
supposed to
popular.
create something that's groundbreaking, and I mean
Yeah. Innovation.
with the Apple Vision Pro, I mean, it's cool, but I really do
Yeah.
view it as something that's just how
A
would you?
tech demo.
Yeah, a tech demo, and also just kind of a gimmick.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Yeah, it doesn't strike me as a finished product.
Like, okay, if we're really trying to make our video games into Ready Player One, we got a ways to go. I don't
Yeah.
know if you remember that movie where they all had the headsets and everything, but
It was a book first, right?
I think it was a book first. I'm pretty sure it was a book first, and then yeah, it was like a 3-book series or a 2-book series. I don't remember.
Yeah.
There was a couple books on it, from what I know, and
Yeah.
Steven Spielberg made a movie off of it, of course, and I mean the idea was brilliant. I thought it was a decent movie for what it had to offer, but
Yeah.
I just think that the idea that video games are going to evolve and go into that stage, I don't know. I may be wrong, but
Yeah. I mean, we'll see. Like my
there's only one
impression
way to
of
find
the
out, Logan. So
I know, right? My impression of the MetaQuest 3 is that the software is extremely good. Like it's super intuitive, it looks great, but the hardware just isn't there yet. And that's like I think that's a rarity, right? Like usually the software is pretty much there and or
we've
the hardware is pretty much there and the software needs to catch up.
we've plateaued in terms of PC gaming hardware, but in terms of
Yeah.
hardware for other forms of entertainment, we're just not there yet. Like you said, we're in our infancy stages still,
Yeah.
which
So
is
it'll be interesting to see if this big screen thing goes anywhere, big screen beyond too. I'm interested to see if the value goes up or if we get some competition to make it actually,
well,
you know.
I think a lot of tech companies, they want VR to be the next biggest thing because
Yeah, definitely.
it was basically like you go anywhere, you go outside and you go out in public, everybody has a cell phone now. Everybody has a cell phone, some type of mobile device with them. Never had that before. Never. It was a generational leap in terms of technology, and I think they're banking too hard on this. What I do think, however, is I think the next generational leap, and I don't think a lot of people are paying close attention to it. I may be wrong. Is the Neuralink? I do think
Oh yeah.
I think that is going to be the true like
Well, especially
generational
if they
leap
can
in
make it
terms of technology.
non-surgical.
Yeah, well, I think that well, it's gonna have to be surgical to some extent. I would think. I don't know, but that's what it gives me cyberpunk vibes because you're customizing your own body with technology and you're having firmware connected to your own brain and all forms of all the complexities within your own body. You're basically modifying your body for certain types of enhancements to help you throughout the day. That's the purpose of technology, of course. It's to help us. And I
Yeah.
mean,
It's just a more invasive sort of thing,
how far can you push technology before it starts pushing you back? Going to Black Ops
Right.
3, a COD reference, of course, but and I did actually. I should have recorded gameplay for that. It was so good. I went back and I played the entirety of the Black Ops 3 campaign, and I thought to myself, yeah, I mean, it was piss poor storytelling, but it was for in terms of creative writing, it was beautiful for what it had to offer. It was just like the plot was dumb, but the ideas, it was amazing to look at all these years later. But I don't know. That's what
Yeah.
it reminded me of, and yeah, I mean that's a really cool thing for what they have to offer for those little goggles that I mean it's smaller, of
Yeah.
course. And that's already one of the biggest, I guess,
Comfort is their
upsells.
biggest selling point, I think.
Yeah, comfort especially because
Because I just can't stand the weight. Like it's so heavy on your face. It's hot. It sucks.
you get a
VR kind of
headache,
sucks.
you get nauseated, and
Yeah.
it's just nasty
Yeah.
afterwards. Yeah, it's not great. It's not a good experience.
So that's that. I also have a little bit of car stuff to talk about. This is kind of cool. Um, First of all, like we talked about
Your
Tesla briefly
Jordans are
last
fake.
week. What's that?
Your Jordans are fake. First of all,
First of all, your Jordans are fake. No, we talked a little bit about Tesla last week, and things have gotten worse.
yeah.
The Elon,
What?
yeah,
People are like, what are they doing? They're vandalizing Teslas now, or something like that.
yeah,
What was it?
arson, vandalism, shooting up dealerships. Like, this is all terrible. This should never, ever, ever happen. It's
Why?
ridiculous.
What's the reason behind it? Why is this happening? Is it
I
because
don't
of
know. They're
just his
angry because Elon's
what managing the
in the
depart?
government.
That's it.
They think he bought his way to power and he owns everything now.
And this is their form of.
It's lunacy. Is what I
Well, that
what
is
I'm
lunacy, but
yeah.
you know what
Like
wasn't?
they painted swastikas on Jewish people's Cybertrucks.
Seriously?
Yeah. It's like, what are you doing? This is ridiculous. So I think the anti-Elon hate is absolutely stupid,
Is
and I don't
this
think it's warranted at all. I don't understand why we hate Elon now.
my guess is these are the far left liberals now or something like that, and they're just
Mostly, yeah.
why would they paint swastikas on the
Extremists.
why would they paint swastikas on there if they're so
They're
anti?
calling Elon a Nazi. That's what supposedly the reasoning is.
But why would you paint a swastika? Wouldn't that make you a Nazi if you do that? Like,
Yeah.
it's kind of hypocritical. If you would, I would think.
Yeah.
But
I think it's crazy.
you know what would
So
just boycott. If you're really that upset, just boycott.
I know
That's the best
that's
form of
literally
protest.
what conservatives did
You know what's
when
yeah for Bud
Bud
Light.
Light
It's
was
crazy.
yeah, just boycott. They didn't burn down retail stores because they were selling Bud Light.
Spuds McKenzie did not die for that. I'm sorry. That poor bull terrier.
Yeah. Ugh.
That was Spuds
So
McKenzie's legacy. Apparently, was to have some type of model or figure, controversial model or figure, transgender figure, be put on
yeah,
for advertising and eventually get boycotted, and Budweiser and all those other
I know.
brands go down substantially. See, that was a successful movement, I would say. That was actually a really good movement. I applaud the conservatives for having some type of peaceful, protest in that regards. So
Yeah, and obviously, there are going to be cases where conservatives get less than peaceful.
well,
Like,
absolutely, yeah.
I think January 6th was one instance, but it wasn't nearly as bad, I think, as what's happening right now. Like, they weren't torching people's cars, like just normal people's cars. They weren't keying people's cars. They weren't
Oh, I thought it
damaging
was the
personal
Third Reich.
property.
That's what I thought.
Third Reich.
I'm being sarcastic, by the way.
Oh my
I'm being
gosh.
sarcastic. Goodness, gosh. It's
So that's the disclaimer that I have
that was my
before I get into
9/11.
this. My gosh. This has really nothing to do with it other than people that really like these cars kind of hate Teslas.
And that's the reason why it's getting so much popularity, is because it's not a Tesla.
Partly, yeah. I
Okay.
think they're kind of cool cars. Like this is a Rivian R3X. This is a prototype. Won't be out for another probably 2 years or so. But it's kind of cool. Rivian is an interesting car company. They are. I don't know how to describe it. So they make a truck. They make a big SUV, like essentially Silverado, and
It's truck month. That's why.
it's truck month.
It's truck month.
Silverado and Tahoe sort of deal. Chevy Tahoe. So those are their current products. They're going to make an R2, which is a smaller SUV, kind of like a Grand Cherokee or something. And then they're going to make this, which is like a smaller crossover. And this particular one is supposed to be off-roady and I think pretty cool. So I personally like the styling. I don't know what you think about it. It's kind of
I just don't like the headlights and the light that goes across the across the front of the hood. I just don't like
So
it.
like basically the whole design language.
Okay, now. All right, don't need to throw me under the bus like that. Gosh, jeez.
that's kind of the brand's design language, and my sister hates it too. So
Mom,
I think most people like it, but
can we have a
definitely there
Tesla
is a crowd of
Tesla
people
at
that
home
don't.
be like?
What's that?
Can we have a Tesla at home be like?
I know, right?
That's the impression I'm getting from.
I mean,
It's cool, don't get me
it's
wrong.
boxy, it's cool, it's kind of retro. Like the wheels have a kind of interesting design, and it's boxy. I like boxy SUVs. Uh,
Yeah,
so
but you
yeah,
know what
I
else is
I don't know.
boxy is the oh my gosh, what's that car name? It's a Ford and it's an SUV. The Ford, it's not the Frontier. Is the
Bronco Sport,
No, it's not the Bronco. It does look like the Bronco. That's what it reminds me of. The
Maverick.
Oh my
Are you talking
gosh.
about the truck, the little truck?
No, it's a Ford SUV. What's it called? And I was watching
Oh, Escape or something.
no.
I don't know.
Ah, crap, what's it called? Let me see. Land Rover. That's what it is.
Well, Land Rover doesn't have anything to do with Ford.
I, oh, I'm sorry. Why was I thinking Ford? Oh, my bad. Land Rovers are nice though, I will say. I
Yeah,
don't know
but they
what
don't.
it
They're
reminded
not
me of.
reliable at all.
Well, they're not. They don't look like Ford. My bad. Well, it does reminds me of Ford. I don't know why I was thinking they were English Nelson. Jeez, I don't know why I was thinking they were one and the same.
Yeah. One thing about Rivian is Volkswagen has a significant investment in Rivian. Um, so the people burning down Teslas and calling Elon a Nazi are supporting Volkswagen.
Which is
Make of that
ironic
what you will.
because their history is
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter to me. It's just the point that they're trying to make doesn't make any sense if they
there's
consider that.
there's no continuity whatsoever. They're not
Yeah.
consistent with
I
serious.
think, like personally, I don't have anything against Volkswagen, especially like every company has like history probably that they're not proud of. But I would say that um, inconsistency is the liberals' consistency. Like they're consistently inconsistent.
Well, you know what they like to do, especially, I mean, that's why they're called liberal to begin with, is because they like to view themselves as free thinkers and, they want to be as they like to have new ideas every single time and they like to adopt those types of ideas instead of, going with what works and what isn't broke. I mean, how would you say it? If it ain't broke,
They
don't
they
fix it.
pursue they pursue brand new for the sake of brand new.
And
Like
that
they're
falls
even if
into
it means that it's gonna be worse. Like they don't consider that the new idea is gonna be worse. They
and
just
it
push new, 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 new,
jeopardizes
new.
their past views essentially.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So they don't really have any type of moral basis or platform to really work with, I would say. There's no
yeah.
consistent platform for the left because it's always changing. They're always adopting some type. That's why they lost in 2024. I'm sorry. That's why they lost. They didn't have any type of
Oh,
platform
there
to
were a
work
whole
with.
number of reasons why they
Well, there were
lost.
so many other reasons, but that was one of the biggest things
Yeah.
because they didn't really have any type of platform to work with because they were changing their
Well, and they
agenda
couldn't
so
contradict
much.
Joe Biden's platform. They couldn't contradict anything that he did during his presidency. Oh, everything Joe Biden did was fantastic for the country.
I know
So,
after they ousted him, and I like to think they actually did have some type of coup on
go
him.
against
I
him,
really
yeah.
do think they did that. I really do.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. I think that okay, so we've said over and over again that the left needs the right and the right needs the left. They kind of counterbalance each other.
Well, they do. They definitely do need each other.
Which is why I think the Democrats need to get their crap together because, like, you know, any party unchecked can pretty quickly go to the extremes. And um, I don't want to say I'm seeing that already in the on the conservative side of things, but it's pretty easy to see that they're kind of drifting a little bit.
As of right
Um,
now, since the election, or
yeah,
yeah, I would like
I
to
think,
argue they're getting a little complacent now after Trump's victory.
yeah,
I really do
yeah,
think they're getting a little complacent, and
yeah.
I think to myself, okay, you guys got to have realistic expectations going in, because if you guys still, want to be this type of party that um, seems rebellious, to be,
To
on the
be
opposing.
rebellious, you have to be rebelling against
Yeah, you got to
something.
stay, consistent. You got to keep watch. You
Yeah,
can't just, ease back and not, and it's gonna
yeah.
happen.
It's not the
It'll
time to kick
change.
back, but I
Yeah,
mean,
it's
to be
not.
fair, like, basically right now, conservatives are in charge of everything.
Well, they are. Yes, that's true.
So I don't know. It's kind of important, I think, to have some Democrat input.
Oh, I think I think so too. And well, what's crazy is that there was some
Yeah,
type of Democratic input. Tulsi Gabbard. You had Bernie Sanders, of course. He got ousted by his own party.
yeah.
Um, Bobby Kennedy, of course. I mean, those are, you could say those are just people to the extreme, but I do think
Part of the
this.
problem though is like they pushed all these crazies to the top of their party. The Democrats did. And now they can't get away from them and they can't get away from all the woke politics. They just can't do it
Well,
because
they're drowning
they have all the
themselves in it,
crazies at the top of their party.
and that's what their party is now known for, from what I know, at
Yeah,
least.
they used to be reasonable. Like,
They used to be the party where it was okay, like, to push the boundaries when it comes to making jokes. They used to be that party.
yeah,
Now they're the
yeah,
party that is so easily offended about some small joke about
right. It's a tyrannical system
it.
now. Like
Yeah,
they have a purity test basically for everyone that engages in their politics.
and if you fall outside of it, you're basically,
You're gone,
well, from what I know at
canceled.
least. I mean, I guess that kind of relates to uh, when Charlie Kirk made an appearance on Gavin Newsom's first episode for his new podcast.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Is he's now trying to, how would you say it, create some type of platform, like a consistent platform, like this is what the Democratic Party thinks, this is what they stand for. And it's obviously clear he's going to make a run for president. It's obvious. And he's
Yeah.
trying to be the first one to make that stepping stone, like, yeah, this is what, like, I'm a member of the Democratic Party, and this is exactly what I think, and this is what we all think, and this is what we say, and we're we're not,
Yeah. Okay. So the audience can tell we don't like Gavin Newsom very much as our
we
governor, but
despise Gavin Newsom. Oh my gosh, I'm just gonna say it. I don't even think Californians who voted for him don't like him to some extent. I don't
yeah.
think that, but
My thinking is if he can bring the Democrats back to like actual Democrat policies instead of ridiculous woke politics, that's what needs to happen. And if he can do it, that's
he's
fine with me.
backtracking now. I will say he's backtracking a
Yeah,
lot of his
he was all
statements.
in on the woke
He's
politics.
very wishy-washy, and that's why a lot of
Yeah.
people aren't. I don't trust him. I'm sorry, I don't
No, I
trust
don't
whatever
either.
that guy says. I'm sorry, but whatever he has to say, if he wants to make a consistent platform, go on
Because
ahead.
he flip flops all the time.
He
But
flip-flops all
if
the,
he
yeah.
tries to move to consistency and shows that he can be more consistent, that's fine, I guess. Consistent
I ain't
action
voting for
is
him.
better than
I
inconsistent
ain't voting
action.
for him. No, forget that.
No, I don't think I'll vote for him, but it'll be it'll be good to see at least some movement away from woke. I think almost everybody agrees on that.
Well, I think even the conservatives, to some extent, they get so fed up into that crap all the time. Like going
Yeah.
back to the Assassin's Creed Shadows stuff, they thought it was woke DEI for hire crap because there was a black samurai. And I'm thinking, okay, well, I mean, you can do your research to see whether or not it was historically accurate, and to some extent it was, and other times it wasn't. But you guys get so lost and fed up in that stuff that you feel like I feel like they need that stuff in order to survive, like to make content at least. And
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember what my original point was. Gosh dang it, Nelson. But um, it to me at least it seems lazy. And
Yeah.
on top of that, I think to myself, maybe the reason why I'm not really all that up in arms about it is because over the last few years, I've just stopped caring entirely. And I thought, okay, if the game's fun, that's all that matters. And
Yeah.
if I just stopped paying attention to it entirely with all the woke stuff, I just stopped. I stopped giving it attention and I found myself feeling a lot better afterwards. Deleting Twitter
Yeah.
was
I
a
suppose you could be frustrated over this sort of stuff, or you could just not care, and
if you just
that's
don't
a better
care,
way to be.
it's just a better way to be. Don't let it bother you or anything. Like, yeah, okay, maybe that sucks a little bit, but I noticed that a lot of conservatives really, they like to surround their life with that crap all the time, and then they go on to, live news TV and media and all that stuff, and it just already it's further confirmation bias, of course, and then you find yourself getting mad and easily frustrated all the time, and then you find out Mr. Potato Head is trans, and then you go to bed mad. But I don't know. For me at least, I just stopped caring. I stopped giving, certain groups of people attention because they need that in order to survive. A lot of conservatives and liberals do that stuff where they just thrive
Yeah.
off of that type of controversy. They just
Yeah.
do. And if you just don't give
Well,
them attention, that's you've won. Don't give them
it's like the
attention.
people that consume Hollywood drama all the time, you know.
I mean,
And no
you
shade if you do that, but it's like
you can
there are people that just love that sort of thing, and that's basically all politics is nowadays.
I mean, you could say I'm hypocritical right now because we're talking about it, like we're giving into,
Yeah.
or I'm giving into that stuff, but I don't know. But I can see here that you got some, by the looks of it, a little
Yeah.
bit of the JFK files, which did actually come
So
out.
yeah, they did come out. It was like 80,000 something or others or something.
8,000 something or other something.
This video, I looked it up, and okay, here we go. So nobody has to sit through nothing. There's absolutely nothing new in this video. So
Yeah, was there anything? Did the CIA do this? That's what I would like to know.
okay, my understanding is, and this is
Still
going off of a couple videos that I've watched,
too early to tell?
they made it sound like the CIA was really involved, like a lot more than we had thought. Like they knew about Lee Harvey Oswald days before he committed the act. Um, so there's that, and then there's other people like this guy down here that says nothing new has been brought up. Um, I don't know. It sounds like the CIA is kind of bad
The
overall,
CIA is
though.
bad. That's why.
Yeah, not good.
Well done.
I've heard some things like there have been some suspicions that outside funding, and that sort of thing caused the assassination of JFK, But right now, it seems mostly like it's speculation.
Well, what
Like
was it?
they're still poring over all the files and
I
stuff.
I saw a comment that was like they were really that worried of releasing this stuff when nothing really has changed all that much.
I know. Yeah.
Why were they so afraid of releasing the files? Like nothing was going to change after they released it. Like no one was going to feel any different at least. But I mean,
Yeah. I
you know what I would like to see if there is any files? I want to know what happened to the 2.6 trillion dollars the day before 9/11
Oh yeah.
because in that area of the Pentagon, that plane crashed into that area of the Pentagon that had all the documents and files for supposedly what happened to the 2.6 trillion. That's one of my favorite conspiracy theories, by the way. I do actually like to think,
Yeah, I
and
know you talked about that one a little bit a
that's
couple
a
podcasts ago.
that's a bad thing to think about to some extent, but I actually do like to think that yeah, there's no frickin' the CIA and the U.S. government had some type of Tom
I think the US
screw.
government is so suspicious so much of the time. It's like it seems very likely that a lot of what our government has done has been in the past at least has been very malicious. Um, even toward its own citizens and leadership. So I think that we need to go through and clean up a little bit. I think
Well, I think that
that's
was
what.
a decent form of establishing some type of transparency and trust within the U.S.
Yeah,
government between, yeah, that's what I do think.
yeah.
I still don't trust the U.S. government.
Releasing these files. Yeah,
I don't,
I
I don't,
definitely don't.
I
But
don't trust the IRS. Abolish them.
yeah, the
Yeah, taxes and
IRS.
all that.
Yeah. So I guess the moral of the story from these files releasing is
Pay your taxes.
we shouldn't.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, pay your taxes, and we shouldn't trust the government. I mean, that's like the whole conservative spiel, isn't it? Don't trust the government. The government's not your friend.
Even though they voted for.
I'm from the government and I'm here to help.
Oh, well, those are the 9 most terrifying words, according to
Yeah.
Ronald Reagan, which I wouldn't blame him that he's not wrong there.
Yeah. So that's it. That's all I have.
That is all she. That is all she wrote. That is all she wrote. However
Oh,
the saying goes.
guess how far we are in.
I have almost 2 hours in.
Yeah.
It went by quick, I will say.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Yeah.
Well, shall we end it off? We good?
Yeah, I think this is a good stopping point. I
All
think
right.
it's a good stopping point. Yeah. I mean, I'm probably gonna buy Assassin's Creed and I'll download it on my Steam Deck and give it a try or something. I'll see what happens, but
Yeah. Yeah, if you do that, let us know. Next week we'd be happy to see what you got.
I probably will see if I can record gameplay of it and put it in the background and go from there. I don't know. We'll see.
Oh, and remind me, spring break. Let's do it. Let's go to that game store, dude.
Oh
I
yeah.
want to do it.
Well, I will say next week I do have to take my dog to Petco to get
Yeah.
her shots. I do have to do
Well,
that.
next week I'll be in school, so
Oh, the week after?
yeah, it'll be the week after next
Okay.
week.
Yeah. I bet you
All right,
Ubisoft
well,
is gonna go up for sale.
yeah,
almost
I mean,
certain.
there have been some rumors of
Well,
maybe Microsoft buying
they did
Ubisoft. So.
they did let oh I don't know if that'll go through though, but they did
Yeah.
massive layoffs and they're trying to I think they're gonna try to get bought out by like Tencent or some Chinese company or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows? But anywho,
Yeah, we'll see.
I will end it there. So
Yeah.
for the folks listening and who have decided to put up with us yapping for, or me at least yapping for about 80% of the podcast and Logan yapping for about 20%, thank you for
Nah.
sticking around and listening to us. This has been, I would say, an interesting week, at least one of the more interesting weeks for us, at least.
Yep.
And I will let you guys know. You'll find out sometime next week if I do play a set. I'll probably get it, but Thank you for listening. We hope you enjoyed. We will see you around. Stay tuned for more. This is Nelson, joined by my wonderful co-host Logan. Yeah.
Yep. Good to see you.
All right. Bye-bye, everyone. I'm going to bed.
Bye bye. Bedtime.